Okay, so the shape card I'm going to show you today is another old design, but I saw it pop up on Facebook. I think it was from the Fiskerettes. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to make in ScanNCut canvas using basic shapes. So we're going to come over here to the basic shapes and I'm going to choose a rectangle. I'm going to open the properties box and I'm going to make sure that the maintain aspect ratio is unticked because I want to alter the width and height. So first of all, in the first box I'm going to type 5 and in the second box I'm going to type 10. Now while this box is selected, I'm going to bring it up into this top corner here because I want to use this horizontal and vertical ruler line again. So I'm going to select the magnifying glass and just draw a tiny little box in this corner, an imaginary box, which will just highlight that area for me. Now I'm going to use the select tool, then select my rectangle and drag it up here into this top corner. Now I'm going to zoom out again now, just so that I can see. Now I'm going to be putting in some horizontal dashed lines, but before I do anything I'm going to select the box or the rectangle, click it again to expose the nodes, and this right hand vertical line should be selected. If it isn't, touch one of the nodes in either corner and it should highlight it for you. And then I'm going to just select this first icon here on the far right, which will break that box open for me. Now I'm going to click on the zoom button and I'm just going to highlight this top section and I'm going to bring the box into view. So I'm going to come to the path tool, I'm going to come over here to the 2.5 inch mark, click on the 2.5 inch mark, hold my shift key down and drag a straight line out, and I'm coming beyond this bottom line here. I want to extend this vertical line beyond it so that if I need to manipulate it in a little while it's easier to get hold of. So once I've got beyond that black horizontal line, I'm going to double click to anchor that line, open my properties box, make it a cut line, and then I'm going to choose a dash line and I'm going to use the second one down. Then I'm going to come back to the path tool, do exactly the same but this time on 5. So I'm going to left click on 5, hold my shift key down, drag out, double click to anchor that line, make it a cut line and then choose the dash line again. Now I'm going to put one more in. So again, back to the select path icon, and this time I'm coming to 7.5. So I'm going to left click, hold my shift key down, drag it out beyond that bottom line and double click. But I'm not going to do anything with that. That's only a guideline for me. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to make it a cut or a dash or anything. Now I'm going to come back to the path icon. I'm going to come over here to the 2.5 mark. So I'm going to come to this path line, select it. I'm going to start just to the left of this 2.5 inch, so just outside. Left click, drag it out and left click beyond where these two lines intersect. Double click and that should highlight that line for me. Open the properties box, change it to a cut line and a dash line. Then I'm going to do exactly the same, choose the path icon again. This time I'm going to start here beyond where this corner intersection is. Left click, I'm not holding my mouse down this time because I want to make sure that I go between these two intersecting lines and just beyond it, and double click. While it's selected, make it a cut line and make it a dash line. Okay, Now I want to select the rectangle. So I've selected the rectangle, then I'm going to click once again to expose these two nodes, I'm going to drag this node back to this line here on the 7.5 inch mark, just in a straight line, and stop. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Drag this one back to that 7.5 inch line. Now I'm just going to select this and delete it because I don't need this. This was only a guideline for me to put in these diagonal lines. Now I'm going to come back to the path icon, get rid of that so I can see. Select the path icon, come down here to 2.5 inches, left click, hold my shift key down and drag a line out well beyond the end of this rectangle and double click. And again, I'm only using that as a guideline. So I'm going to come back to the path icon, come back up here, hover over this line and I'll get a box. Left click, drag this line out to this 10-inch mark here where it meets this black horizontal line I've just put in. Left click and then come back down here until it meets up with this bottom line and double click. And that's now put me a cut line in. Now I want to grab hold of this middle horizontal line because I don't need it and delete it. And that's the basis of the card. I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything, right click and group, and then give it a name. I'm going to call it Diamond Fold Card and save it before we go any further. Now I'm going to put some matting layers in, so I'm just going to zoom in so we can see it better. I'm going to come back to the basic shapes, choose a rectangle, hold the shift key down and rotate it. I'm going to make this 4.7 inches, 4.75 inches high by 2 and 2.25 wide, so 2.25 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to take that down to 2.25 and take this up to 4.75, and that should fit comfortably within this black area. I'm going to just make it red so it stands out a little bit. And now I'm going to make a square to go in here. So I'm going to choose a square, I'm going to hold my shift key down and rotate it, position it inside here and then just drag it up to make it smaller. Again, I'm going to make it red so that you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to select all that, bring it down here, and I'm just going to resave it all again now. So now I've got my matting layers and my base card. Okay, so now it's all saved. I am going to download the file, cut it, and then I'm going to show you how to fold it to assemble it. Okay, I've started to fold this up and then I realised that the camera wasn't working, so ignore the fact that I've folded it. I've cut it out. These are the two matting layers. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this. Obviously you can use any glue, I'm just using a wet glue because I've got it to hand. I'm going to position it centrally on this bottom rectangle. I'm going to do the same with this one. Position this at the top. So that's how we're looking so far. Now, with the right side of the card up, you want to fold this bottom score line up. You want to fold the next score line backwards, and then obviously you want to put in your diagonals. And then when you've done that, you want to push in these sides and it will all fold up like this. Now you want to put some glue on this bottom section. I think I'll just find a different glue just for speed. And then you want to push the sides in and push this triangle down. So you're sticking that section down and then remanipulate your card, and basically that's it. So when it's in an envelope, it will fold flat and it will fit in a 5x5 envelope, and then when it's opened, it sits up like that. So you can decorate it, you know, however you wish, but that is the basis of the diamond fold card. So I hope you found that helpful. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Please subscribe and then you'll always be kept up to date with any of the videos that I post. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.